Okay. Just right click select here. If you notice all departments coming a research, I will need to check the data actually all are belongs to same department or some different, right? So I need to log in the info source and just want to check the table actually what is the source table. Source table we are using the EMP, right?
Yes.
This is source qualifier. This is the source table. You want to debug now? Suppose if any issue come like you want to validate the data, so you need to go via this, right? So you need to open your Oracle first, like source. Source or let me show you the exact process, right? So that, yeah, suppose if any issue want to validate data, then you go in session log, right? And
Okay.
session log is given the some query, right? Source query. You can
Right.
just apply the filter here. Everything is given, so I will go directly in. Just write in SQ underscore. If you notice here, some query given, right? Yeah, actually here is some hard coded like department number 20, right?
Okay.
Because we are populating data of only one department. That's why. I will copy this query and execute in our source database. I will copy and paste. Just remove the last keyword. Yeah. This one is belongs to same department. That's why it's coming research.
Research.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to join a manual want to check, then you can use like this. Your DPT number, DPT as a department, and give the one join condition here, like DPT dot DPT, equal to EMP dot DPT number, right? And here you can give the DPT dot D name. Got it, right? This is the research name what we populated in our database in target. This one come in the research actually, because they were using the populating the single department. That's why it's coming the research. Our target record is correctly populated and it looks okay, right? I will show you another example like we'll remove the filter here and then populate so that it's working for other one or not. I will remove the filter condition. Okay. In same way, suppose if you change anything, na, you just save this one, then you go in workflow manager, then you refresh your mapping. Otherwise, it will not impact it, right? It will be fail something.
Right.
Okay. I refresh here and validate. And you can also cross check here as well. You just open and open the workflow session and go in mapping tab. Okay, in mapping tab there is source target, right? You can click on source, then cross check here. First is relational, second is your user query. If you notice here, let me click on down. If you notice here, there is EMP source qualifier, right? There is some sorted. You can also write here some query if you want to override, right? Always your Informatica reading the latest changes in session level, right? But yeah, as per our coding standard, we are not supposed to write here anything because we mostly write in a mapping label, whatever required, so that everything is sync, so that other person, because some hiding process here. If you write something is your mapping here, if you then you can apply some filter here. It will be read your informatica from here. What is the latest change in session level? It will be picked from here. It will not go in mapping. It will change overwrite actually.
Okay.
Here is some pre-SQL, post-SQL. If you want to delete something, you can write the pre-SQL. Before load, it will be deleted something, right? Yeah, we need to check your complete load. So I save and then I want to rerun again. It will be truncate and load again. Let me check in monitor. It will be, yeah, it's running and now it's loading total 14 record. Previously it was total 5, right?
Right.
Which loaded to complete 14 record.
Not present content. Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you notice here, there is the multiple department is coming, right? Multiple department means our lookup, whatever we design, it's work fine because it's working for one record, it's working for many records, right? So there is no miss. Okay.
Yeah.
So there is the lookups, whatever we discussed here. Uh, kind of thing. Lookup always passive transfer because it's change automatically, right? Can be connected or unconnected. Connected. We just show you. Unconnected. I'll show you later. How to create connected. Unconnected means we are not linking the port actually. We just call in expression directly. We created the lookup as usual, whatever, but we are not linking the port actually. Use a lookup transformation mapping. This one is all here. We are using that transformation lookup transformation inside the mapping, right? We can import a lookup definition from any flat file or relational database. The today we just uses the lookup build the relational database. So import that department table and created the connected lookup. Now last some key points we need to remember that one. Suppose we can look up transformers perform the following. I already discussed that one. Just to get a related value like employee department, but department is not there. We use the lookup to get department. This is the actual requirement. So you can use instead of that. Perform calculation. If you want to perform any calculation, then you can perform there, right? After that, you can write the update slowly changing dimension table. Most important use, you can use a lookup transformation to determine whether rows already exist in the target table or not, right? Now, this is the types of lookup, how many types of lookup there. I already explained connected and unconnected. Connected already discussed, unconnected we'll discuss later. Yeah, what is the difference between two? Only difference is
Port.
yeah,
Yes.
port. We didn't let me show you can also when you create, I will not link anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, if here is if you notice here, we are linking the port from department and putting here. So we are both thing we are disconnect. We created the unconnected lookup without linking, and here department if you want to populate, we just write the some sentence LKP, right? Colon LKP and dot your lookup name, then put the parameter like department number. It will be a name. It will automatically populate, just like a function. You can remember Oracle function, right?
Right.
Second thing, last one, cache or uncache. Lookup can be cached or uncached. Now, next thing, relational lookup. What will be the relational lookup? When we create a lookup transformation using a relational table, as a lookup source, we can connect to the lookup source using ODBC and import the table definition as the structure for the lookup transformation, right? We can override the default SQL statement if we want to add a where class or query multiple tables. Last option, we can use a dynamic lookup cache with relational lookup, right? If you want to build the flat file lookup, like you want to take from Excel like CSV, you can build all columns similar way, just like Oracle database. Similar ways, the column need to specify whatever column you are using. The similar way, when you use the flat file, you just yeah, Ritika,
Yep.
you want to say something?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to build the lookup based on your flat file, you need to use the flat file for lookup as a source. We can use any flat file definition in the repository, or we can import it. When you import a flat file lookup source, the designer invokes the flat file wizard. Via wizard actually use automatically, or you can manually. If you want to manual, you need to manual create the port columns and everything, and just keep the file as advanced or whatever, like file is delimited or whatever, right? So accordingly, you need to type the some conditions. Similarly, as human cache lookup also in flat lookup, sorry, in flat file lookup. Similar way, just like your relational. Yeah, some differences in both connected and connected. There is the difference actually. Receive the input value directly from the pipeline. If you notice here, we are connected the some port. That will be value comes from the pipeline. But unconnected, we receive the input value from the result of a colon, right? This is actually syntax called the unconnected lookup. In expression in another transformation. So we just call this lookup in another transformation. Okay. In connected lookup, we can use a dynamic or static cache, right? Because both option we can use, but in unconnected, we always use the static because when start our workflow, our integration service downloaded everything in unconnected. And when you call that functions allow unconnected lookup, it will be pull the data from the static cache, then you populate in expression transformation. But yeah, connected lookup can be dynamic or static because it will be go in every row pipeline, right, in your source, and just check the data. You make the dynamic. But unconnected lookup can't be dynamic. There is one restriction actually in unconnected. Cache include all lookup columns used in the mapping. Whatever columns, right, you have written in lookups, right? Everything will be cached actually. Because the performance perspective, Informatica provide the options there so that every time you can't go at database, don't go to hit the database, it will take time, right? So if when we start the integration survey, it will be downloaded everything, whatever you written the condition based on the condition. And after that, it will, as per required, it will be processed row by row. And unconnected lookup, a cache includes all lookup output port in the lookup condition and the lookup return port. Okay. Last, if there is no match for the lookup condition, the PowerCenter server returns the default value for all output. Actually, there is some default option. If you're not matching anything, it will be return all output. Okay. In unconnected, if there is no match for the lookup condition, the PowerCenter server return the null value. Okay, just kind of functions, right? If there is a match for the lookup condition, the PowerCenter server return the result of the lookup condition for all lookup port, lookup output port. Okay. And unconnected, if there is a match for the lookup condition, the PowerCenter return the result of the lookup condition into the return port. Same is pass multiple output values to the another transformation in connected lookup. You can take the multi as example, take the department name, right? But you can pass. You can take the multiple. You want to job, salary, whatever you will run the multiple table. you can take multiple columns, right? Basis on that condition. But in your unconnected, pass one output value to another transformation. You can pass only one as a restriction. But yeah, there is some other option there. You can pass multiple as well, but there is some condition you want to just use the pipe. Sorry, right? You
Mhm.
combine the all columns in one columns. Then after that, we need to split. There is option, but yeah, this one is the very actually advanced option. But yeah, as per normal, we can say there is the restriction. We can take the single value in unconnected loop. Another one is support user defined default value, but this unconnected looper does not support user defined value. Right. So I explain everything like this one.
In
How
real time scenario, yeah. In real time scenario, when like will the unconnected lookup will be like used, or like when it comes?
in real time, suppose you want to just like a department name, right? There is the requirement like I need to pull a single columns, right?
Mhm.
I need to populate only department name. I did
Right.
want to populate multiple column. Then that time you can use because I just put because unconnected loop always some faster actually, right? Don't go to
Mhm.
click on file. It will be downloaded once, and when as per required, it will be populated. But your requirement is changed like you want to populate multiple columns, right? Then that time you need to use the connected lookup. Mostly
Okay.
unconnected lookup using the some calculation things, calculative things like you want to salary calculation kind of thing. If you notice here in Oracle, why you are getting function we creating some calculation like you want to aggregated function, right?
Mhm.
That time we every formula we every
Right.
function, and when required we call that function, right? The similar way in informatica they provide option to unconnected lookup. If you want to kind of a formula you want to build, right, inside the mapping, so you can
Mhm.
write there. Got it? Mostly a small requirement, not
Okay.
if you want to populate multiple
Yep.
column basis some multiple table, right? So then that time we not advised to use the unconnected loop. There is the list and you want to pull the only one column
Yeah. I'm
basis on
mostly
that.
like
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Okay. So these are the some condition I already explained. Lookup port source. I already explained that this is actually a document. I will share that document so that you
Okay.
can read. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one everything example I given here, like a
Mhm.
screenshot as well. So what is the and one scenario. Okay. So you can read this one. And unconnected lookup, I will explain later, right? In next class, like one example. Types of
Mhm.
cache, if you notice here, you can read like this was some theoretical option, but high level I explain static means static actually. Cache means your whatever data in your database, it will be cached, right? In Informatica server. Static means only when you start your integration server, it will be downloaded all entire data basis on your condition. But dynamic change everything. Here is written to paste a target table, a flat file source, and insert new row or update existing row in the cache. Use a lookup transform with the dynamic. Why here is saying there is the scenario. Suppose you want to change, want to write the some update, right? You want to apply the update strategy.
Mhm.
Suppose you just change, means you want to update any new row or anything. Just suppose my name is changed, my title is changed, right? Yeah, or my department is changed. So that time in maybe OLTP is running already. So maybe that time some time difference it will be changed my department. When I go there and change pick the new record, that time we'll use the dynamic caching. Why is here the IS means integration cyclic dynamically insert or update data in the lookup cache and pass data to the target. Target table is also our lookup table. No good for performance if table issues. Here is say right. If you notice, performance perspective, there is no good for performance if table is used. If table is millions data, right? Then
Yeah.
if you build the dynamic concept, it will be very unhealthy, your database, because it will not give the good performance. It will be give the very bad performance. It will take time to go every row and just fill the data and update the cache, then insert your target table. That's why we suggest use the static cache. Yeah, if you want to something kind of, then you can handle via some update state, some other way, or change the your process to run after some times, right? Kind of when your data
Right.
perfect. There is some persistent cache, if the lookup table does not change between session, right? Between your session is, suppose your session is running, your does not change anything, right? We can configure the lookup transformation to use a persistence cache. Suppose then you can why we are creating persistent cache? Suppose we are build something based on that mapping, right? Because you have written
Mhm.
multiple transformations, multiple mappings, a workflow want to run. So during that time, you can use the, if you configure the persistent cache, and the basis on that, that data used by the other mapping work. Then that time you can use. So, why we are creating persistent? We save the some times to go back in your database and check the data. We suppose we are make everything is sure that data is not changed during the session. You can configure like that. Why is
Mhm.
saying the IS means integration service save and reuse the cache file from session to session actually, right? So because you are creating multiple mapping and you created one workflow and having the multiple session, that time you can use persistent cache, and then eliminating the time required to read the lookup. Recache from source. If the persistence cache is not synchronized with the lookup table, right? So we can configure the lookup transformation to rebuild the lookup cache. If the lookup table has changed, we can use this to as rebuild the lookup, right? Some shared cache. What is the shared? Named, unnamed cache, and named cache. All are the properties if you notice. But yeah, for high level, I just show you. We are not using mostly things. Yeah, as per requirement, we are using. If you're talking about some normal industry normal way, so we are not using that kind of things. We not lookup property always using the normal and some state mostly. Dynamic, rarely we are using the dynamic, because there is we 100% sure there is less data than you can. But right now most of the company handling the huge data, right? So we are not advised to him to use the dynamic case, right?
Mhm.
This is all about. You can just read. If any question, we'll cover in next. Okay.